In this next bout, we're going to have Juan Antonio Mercado against Ramon Luis NICOLAS. Now, there may be a last-minute change here. That's what the rumors have been in the press in the last 24 hours. So it may well be that Mercado does not fight. It might be Jesus Moreno.
Cuba, con ustedes, Luis NICOLAS.
Well, one thing's for sure, it's going to be Luis NICOLAS of Cuba. World rank number 20. Beaten by Stefan Hartl of Germany in the second round of the World Championships recently. He is the Pan American champion. Won that in Santiago in 2013. Cuban national champion in the past. Actually didn't do so well this year at the Cuban Nationals, but he is outstanding. I think his number 20 ranking in the world is a little unkind.
Con ustedes, Diego Moreno.
Well, there is confirmation. Diego de Jesus Moreno, who actually hails from California, though of course very much Mexican, is fighting instead of Juan Antonio Mercado. Mercado was one of the big names of this Guerrero team, but he's clearly had an injury, and that's the second fighter for the Mexican team who has pulled out tonight. So, Diego de Jesus Moreno, what do we know about him? He's 22 years old. This just his second major international contest. He's up against it, basically. This is going to be a really tough fight for the young Mexican.
A continuación, como supervisor WSB de Estados Unidos de Norteamérica, Ángel Villarreal. Tenemos como jueces de Puerto Rico, José Bonet, Gerardo Pugui de Argentina, de Italia, Enrico Licini, de Hungría, Verónica Kus, de Grecia, Evangelos Boukas. El tercero en la superficie de Ucrania, Mykola Karakulov. Tenemos a continuación en la categoría de los 75 kilogramos. Pelearán 5 rounds. Presentamos primeramente en la
sub 75
esquina
kilos,
azul
their
de los
middleweights.
Domadores de
5 3-minute
Cuba.
rounds.
Con ustedes, Luis La Araña NICOLAS.
And from the Cuba Domadores is Ramon Luis NICOLAS.
De Baja California, México. Con ustedes, Diego La Bala Moreno.
Lives in California, as you heard. He's made the journey down to join the WSB boxing team. The Guerreros, our Ukrainian referee today, will be looking after this 5 3-minute rounds, and the Mexican in the green shorts, the Cuban Ramon Luis NICOLAS in the white and gold. Moreno, really very little experience at an international level. This is a huge call-up for the young Mexican.
Luis opens up.
Luis NICOLAS of Cuba,
Get up, Luis.
fighting southpaw. He's an awkward customer.
Open up, Luis. Watch your punches.
It's actually quite hard to choose the #1 Cuban at the 75 kilo class. There's so many men at the middleweight class. Funnily enough, the Cubans have just about the smallest team in the WSB, 21 fighters, and to be honest, they don't need any more. They have such quality. They have 2 or 3 tremendous fighters, all top 20 in the world at each weight category. In some of the weight categories, they've got a pair of fighters in the top 3 or 4. They're that good. Well, we don't know much about Moreno. He hasn't been seen on the international scene much. Not competed in the World Championships. Hasn't done a Continental Championships. And right now he's stepped in against one of the toughest men on the planet at his weight. The Cuban paying him the respect of finding out just what he's about. Now he's gone in for the kill here. Got him against the ropes. 45 seconds to go.
Head up, Luis, head up.
Well, the Mexican dealt with that flurry pretty well, and he's still dancing around here, just feeding out that jab, trying to keep him at range. He is the slightly taller boxer, the Mexican. Well, just a few seconds to go. This is definitely the round for the Cuban, but by how much? Well, the Cuban didn't really score, missing with punches. Nice counter there from Nicolas. And then when he got him in the corner, drove him back here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 punches, all scoring cleanly. It's a possible 10-8 round, possible. 10-9 it is in favor of Ramon of Cuba. None of the judges seeing it so overwhelming. They've given it 10-8, and that's a pretty fair start, I think. Back out for round number 2, Diego Jesus Moreno. Lives in California, fights for Mexico in the green shorts. Ramon Luis of Cuba fighting in the white shorts. 1 round up at the moment on all of the judges' scorecards. Well, you do start to think that this could be a whitewash for the Cubans on night number 1.
Watch your punches.
The way this is looking, the Cuban here certainly is expected to win. And then in the heavyweights, that's the final category tonight. That'll be 91 kilos. It'll be Arslandy Savon, another big name from the Cuban team, fighting Jabriel Coupe, who's actually a Frenchman who the Mexican team have hired in to fight for them. You are allowed a certain amount of foreign imports, but still on paper it would look good for the Cubans. So a possible 5-0 whitewash going into the second leg, and that would be a big blow for the Mexicans. Brilliant combination there. You can hear the voice of Francisco Bonilla, the head coach of the Mexicans, desperately urging his fighter on here. One minute to go in round 2. Oh, steps forward and is countered heavily. 2 or 3 good punches there. And this round is even more in favor of the Cuban. Just being kept at range now, the Mexican. Hasn't really thrown a decent punch this round.
No headbutts. Let's watch it.
Some more body shots than the Cuban gets through with the right hand. Just a few seconds to go. This is definitely the Cuban's round. Oh, goodness me, goes in, but gets countered heavily by the Cuban. And this may well be a 10-8. Big right hand there, just rocked the Mexican a little bit. Trying some good combinations, the Cuban. Again, the Mexican went in there. Big right hand, a couple of lefts as well. And this was much more dominating for the Cuban than the first round. He won those by 10-9. 10-9 again. The judges could have been harsher there. Doesn't really matter. Ramon is 18-20 up across the scorecards of all of the judges. So right now, with 3 rounds to go, looking in a pretty commanding position. So we're in the Domo Deportivo here in Mexico City. But it's not the Mexicans who are having the fun. It's the Cubans right now. We're into bout number 4, round number 3, and it's going all the way of Cuba. In the white shorts then, Ramon Luis Nicolas. In the green shorts, the Mexican Diego de Jesus Moreno, who was a last-minute substitute for Juan Antonio Mercado. Oh my goodness me, look at this, he's unleashing 10, 12, 15 shots while he was in the corner, and the Mexicans hanging on for dear life now. I'm not sure this is going to last the distance.
Whoa, watch your punches, Luis.
The difference in class here is starting to become apparent. The Mexican afraid to get his hands away from his face and throw a shot. Even when he steps forward, he's still not throwing a punch. He's keeping his hands back in defense. Again, a nice combination from the Cuban. Just under a minute and a half to go here in round number 3. And he's taking the foot off the gas here, the Cuban. I thought he might go in for the kill there when he had the Mexican rocking earlier. 45 seconds to go here. Perhaps just looking to cruise to an easy win. He's already done enough to win this round. And the Mexican just doesn't look interested in coming on. I think that's the first proper aggressive punch the Mexican's thrown this round.
No calling.
.15 seconds to go. Ramon just happy to dance away the round. In he comes again. Gets tagged with the counter punch for his efforts. 10-9, 10-8. Maybe this is the round he gets 10-8. Whatever it is, it was all the way of the Cuban, in total control. Look at this, in the corner. This is where he unleashed 12 or 14 good punches. Dropping his hands, trying to egg on the Mexican. The Mexican not connecting with a single punch in that round. 10-9 again, and that could be considered generous, but still Luis Nicolas Ramon, 27-30 across the board. After 3 rounds, he is in a very commanding lead. A few last-minute words there from Moreno, from Francisco Bonilla in his corner. Bonilla, a great boxer in his time. Olympic medalist back in Sydney 2000. Round number 4 then. Mexico in the green shorts. Diego Jesus Moreno, the late substitute for Mercado, who pulled out just 2 days ago, up against Ramon Luis Nicolas. Well, it's a fairly quiet 4,000 strong crowd here. We are in Mexico City. We're 2,500 meters up, but that altitude advantage doesn't seem to be helping the Mexicans at the moment. Certainly not in this bout. Moreno, who actually is flown in from California, doesn't have the altitude advantage anyway, is struggling with Ramon. He's starting to throw a few more punches here. The Mexican tags him with a left hand there. A little bit more positive for Moreno this round. Now the Cuban starts to dominate. Pushing him back into that corner. Referee just warning, keep the punches up.
Punches up, Luis. Watch your punches.
Luis just punching a little low there. He's just trying to get some body shots off and get the Mexican to drop his hands and then go to work on the face, I'd imagine. Just over 40 seconds to go then, round number 4. In this 4th bout of the night, in this opening match of the World Series of Boxing. So many eyes on this Cuba versus Mexico contest. Oh, a cracking left and right hand there. The Cuban in total control now, dropping his hands, egging on Moreno, who's just not coming forward. He looks nervous out there. Less than 10 seconds to go. The Mexican moves forward. Just brilliant footwork from the Cuban. And once again, the round has to go to Cuba. We have 1 round of boxing to come. Well, the one thing in favor for Moreno is he's covered up well. He's taken a lot of punches and he's seen quite a few combinations come in, but nothing that's really rocked him too heavily. Luckily for him, none of those big punches from Ramon have sent him to the canvas. He's soaked them all up with his arms. 36-40 though. And right now the Cubans are set to win another boxing bout and make it 4-0 on the night. Only 1 round to go for Moreno Diego to somehow turn this around, and it's going to need a knockout. Simple as that. The Mexican's going to come out and have to pull off a miracle punch against this tremendous Cuban. So Diego Jesus Moreno from Mexico in the green shorts. 4 rounds down, 1 round to go, up against Luis Ramon of Cuba.
Boxing, boxing.
Well, the referee there just encouraging them to come together. 30 seconds, nothing happening, both just eyeing each other up. And to be honest, it's the Mexican who's got to get busy here. He needs a miracle punch to try and win this bout.
Stop. No holding. Box.
The Cuban just being accused of holding there in the corner. Could be considered time-wasting tactics, but really the Cuban doesn't need to waste any time. He's barely been hit this entire contest. Oof, big left hand there. Sends the Mexican back. It was almost a slapping right hand. He does like to do a lot of work to the body, the Cuban. Try and drop those hands down and then come in for a big shot to the head. He leads with that low right hand of his. Jabs to the waist.
Get up, please.
There he goes again, jabbing to the body. Just over a minute to go. Diego de Jesus Moreno. 4 rounds down. Needs to rock the world with something special here. He's dropped his guard. He might as well go for it, Moreno. Launch in and give a big punch and hope. 40 seconds. His home crowd are egging him on to try and do something against the Cuban, who's just dancing away here. He doesn't have to throw another punch and he's won this contest. Punches into thin air from the Mexican. So elusive, this Cuban. 15 seconds to go. And Ramon Luis has done as little as we've seen him do all bout. But I think he'll probably win this round too. Just by sheer control, just by domination, showing his skills. I think that final round will go to the Cuban. No matter what, Cuba has taken another victory on the night in the men's middleweight 75 kilo class. And they are 4-0 up on the night. Well, just having a little look back here. Like a surgeon, goes in and gets the punch when he wants, chops in, chops out, and then was just dancing away, waiting for the Mexican to make yet another mistake. Not really even punishing him in the final few seconds there, just enjoying showing off his skills and making the Mexican's life an absolute nightmare out there. Well, I wonder if Juan Antonio Mercado would have done any better. He's ranked 24th in the world. He did pull out of this bout 2 days ago, and Moreno had to step in. So, well done to Moreno for being brave enough to come in and take on this mean Cuban, Ramon Luis NICOLAS. Well, really, there's no suspense here as to what the result is. It's going to be a win for Cuba, but by just how much? That's the question. Well, there's fights going on all around the world, and of course, a lot of them going on at the same time. So we'll have to wait till the end of this weekend to find out how everybody has done.
A, B y C coinciden en la puntuación. 45 a 50.
But the results here will send out shockwaves to the other teams. 45-50 across the board. Unanimous decision.
De los Domadores de Cuba, Luis La araña Nicolás.
Los Domadores de Cuba. NICOLAS Ramon of Cuba taking every single round 10-9. And you just feel that if he really wanted to, he could have put his foot down and won some of those rounds 10-8 or even made life even worse for the young Mexican.
Luis,
But he
pues
didn't.
platícanos tus impresiones de este combate, prácticamente un dominio de principio a fin.
Bueno, el combate fue muy fuerte, mi primera pelea, igual que la de él, todo estuvo bien. Fue una pelea muy fuerte.
Just saying, I'm happy
Ya que
with my
estamos
fight.
en un país de altura, con buenos boxeadores preparados, igual que nosotros.
Háblanos justamente de eso, de la estrategia que hay que seguir máxima a la altura de la Ciudad de México.
¿Cómo?
Háblanos un poco de la estrategia que hay que seguir por la altura de la Ciudad de México.
Hay que entrenar un poquito más, hacer más base de entrenamiento aquí, o a la
He's
altura.
talking about what it's
Cuarta
like coming
victoria
to
para
Cuba,
Cuba, una velada
coming to
exitosa
Mexico,
hasta ahora.
taking on the Mexicans.
Cuarta victoria de Cuba, una velada exitosa.
Sí, sí. Bueno, vinimos aquí con ese propósito de meter 5-0 y por lo que veo vamos en el camino correcto.
Gracias, enhorabuena. Bueno, pues ahí las palabras de la araña. Adelante, Bo.
Happy to have won all 5 rounds. And that's the scorecard, the current standing so far. It's 4-0 to Cuba over the Mexicans. The tough Mexicans not doing so well at the moment. They just have one more bout tonight to try and bring back the score.